Any Paranormal Activity fans out there, this one is for you. If you're wondering, it's been a little quiet about this 7th installment of the Paranormal Activity franchise. Just got an update to let us all know that it's finished. The film has actually been filmed and is complete, according to producer Jason Blum. So I guess first and foremost, I haven't done an update on this one in a while. Just kind of my feelings, kind of to sum up briefly here before we dive into the article. I really don't see what else there is to do with this franchise. Now, I could be totally wrong. They could do something totally different and have a fresh take on this franchise, which is what I really hope that they do. Because as it stands right now, are there some loose ends in the story? Sure. There are a few things here or there, but for the most part, I think the story has been told. Toby has become a human being now, the demon that has been in these films. And it seemed like a logical point to wrap things up, even though I struggle to say that several of those last entries probably weren't warranted. But we're going to stay positive about this. We're going to read this article. We're going to dive in, and we're going to see what exactly Jason Blum has to say about this film being complete. I got to say, that is a shock to me. This news broke just a couple of days ago, and I am shocked because I hadn't heard anything about this film in quite a while. So we'll dig in here. Paramount Pictures pumped out the Paranormal Activity sequels, producing and releasing 5 in just 6 years after the promise that 2015's Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, would be the final entry in the franchise. Bloody Disgusting told you a remake was on the horizon. It took longer than expected, but is coming to Paramount Plus sometime next year. In fact, it's allegedly already finished. So, let me just go over that little paragraph real quick. After being told that 2015's The Ghost Dimension will be the final entry of the franchise, I always joke about these things, but let's be real. There are certain horror franchises that will never really fully, truly go away. Do I think Paranormal Activity is one of those? No. But I do think that, anytime you hear a horror franchise tell you, hey, you guys, you better come watch it. It's the last one you're going to get. They are absolutely 110% full of shit. Another thing I wanted to address here in this paragraph was that the illusion that this is some sort of a remake. I have to say that's the first I have heard of that. My understanding was that this was going to be a sequel. But maybe this article has some new information that I am not privy to. So we'll keep going. The quote here is, let's see, where's it at? The movie's done, Blumhouse founder and producer Jason Blum reveals to Collider. Yeah, we did it. What excitement and emotion coming from Jason Blum. Hey, any update on that new Paranormal Activity? Yeah, we did it. The presumed reboot is directed by William Eubank, the filmmaker behind The Signal and the criminally underrated Underwater, the latter of which felt like it could have easily been found footage. Underwater, isn't that film where all of the cast reported that it was a actual fucking nightmare working on that film? I could be wrong. Someone correct me if I am. But why did they come back to Paranormal Activity after calling it quits? Hey, I got an idea. Money. All right, let's go. Paramount wanted to continue Paranormal Activity. I probably would have left it alone, adds Blum. So they wanted to continue it, but I thought if they were going to continue it, it was tired. There was no way to continue the road that we'd been down. And I totally agree with Jason Blum on that one. I'll say that. Like I said at the top of the video, it really feels like everything was just kind of, I won't say all the loose ends were tied up, but none really are left that keep me awake at night. Like, say, for example, the Saw franchise. So let's see. Quote here. So I really encouraged all the creative people involved to think of something new. I like where this is going. A lot of people who were going to see the new Paranormal Activity were 3 years old when the first Paranormal Activity came out. Crazy to think about, huh? So they didn't even know from those older movies. I thought if you were going to redo it, you better really redo it and not try and expand what we did in all those years ago. So it is starting to sound like, by what he's saying, that this could be, at the very least, a quasi-remake. In regards to creative people, he went directly to Christopher Landon, who not only penned Paranormal Activity 2 through 5, but also directed Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. Ooh, man, I don't know if I would have went to him. That one was a little... I'll digress. Not to mention Happy Death Day and Freaky for Blumhouse. Hey, you know what? If he directed Happy Death Day, I'd say there's a winner right there. Freaky, I have not actually laid eyes on yet. I can't comment. The movie has been dated for release on March 4th, 2022. So we'll be getting this one a little less than 2 months after Scream. But it was subsequently pushed off the calendar. Personally, I'm expecting a surprise drop October, maybe. Okay, so thinking maybe this thing may be pulled a little bit closer to us. The new movie has been recently described as an unexpected retooling of the franchise, reportedly continuing the tradition of taking a found footage approach. Yeah, I think that kind of goes without saying. I think people watched Blair Witch 2 and decided, if a found footage film is popular, maybe the sequel should be found footage films. I don't know. Just saying, Blair Witch 2 could have been a whole lot better without studio involvement, but that is my quick little soapbox right there. So yeah, it kind of seems like we may be looking at a quasi remake. The language that is used in this article and by Jason Blum is very loose. So it's really hard to tell exactly what they're going to be doing with it. It doesn't seem like the story is going to be continuing from this one. It seems like it's going to be fresh. We could be looking at some type of legacy sequel, considering we know how much Jason Blum really likes that, but also maybe not, because he kind of tends to do that with older horror franchise properties. And I'm not talking about, Paranormal Activity, whose existence has all been in the new millennium. Not whatsoever. So it's going to be interesting to see, in my opinion. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens from here. I have to say, there is a part of me that is like, maybe we should leave this alone. Maybe we should just, put our efforts towards something else. But then again, there's always that part of me that has that hope where, you know what, I'll give it a shot. I've enjoyed a good bit of the Paranormal Activity films in the past. I think, the first 3 were pretty good. I think the first trilogy was pretty good. The second part of the trilogy, maybe not so much, even though there were some good moments in them. But nevertheless, I am interested to see what they do with it. A retooling, as they are calling it, which is interesting because every couple of years they move on from whatever word they've been using to market these films, like remake or reboot or reimagining. Now it's retooling. So there's really no telling at the end of the day what exactly we're going to be getting in this next installment of the Paranormal Activity franchise. But if you're a fan of found footage, if you're a fan of the Paranormal Activity franchise, it is a time to be excited. And even someone like me who is, kind of 50-50 about it, I'm even pretty excited to see what they can do with this. I guarantee you this. I don't think there's going to be much of a gray area for me personally after I come out of the theater for this. I think I'm going to enjoy it, or I'm going to think that I wasted my time. I'm pretty sure that's going to be my output on whatever it is they go for. And I am definitely hoping that I leave the theater whenever it may be, hopefully sooner than later. There's even some speculation in this article that we might even see this thing coming to Paramount Plus a little bit earlier, maybe around Halloween time.